You've watched one episode of The Simpsons, so you kind of don't have that connection to this kind of heritage where most of us grew up watching it. So how does that change your view of a film?
Well, all I can tell you is I basically go in completely, cold. I mean, it's impossible to be alive today and not know who the Simpsons are because they're everywhere else. But I have only ever watched one episode. You'd know who they were. It's almost like saying, I know of them, but they're not my friends. Yeah, no, but exactly. But you know who they are because it's impossible not to know that Homer and Martin, and that's fine. And in fact, actually, a few months ago, Harry Shearer came in, and I'm a huge Spinal Tap fan, and I was doing my usual, television evil, films good, and he said, so therefore, Boat Trip is better than The West Wing. And I said, no, I agree. I understand that my Philistinism about television is short-lived and doesn't have legs. So we now have the Simpsons movie, and just for the record, it's the first time they've done a movie, and they've been holding off on doing it for ages and ages. It's an hour and a half long. We start off with a Ren and Stimpy cartoon. You've seen it, right? So it starts with
Itchy and Scratchy.
Itchy and Scratchy. What did I say?
Yeah.
Ren and Stimpy. Itchy and Scratchy. Well, there you go. That just shows you exactly how much I know about television. And I'm very glad that even now I'm not up to it. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a cartoon, and Homer is watching it, and Homer says, "Why would I pay to watch something in the cinema that I could stay at home watching television?" And everyone very knowingly goes, very good, because of course that is what we're doing here. Then we have an hour and a half story, which basically revolves around Homer adopts a pig, and Homer is, let's say, careless with the pig waste, which causes an eco-crisis which threatens the whole of Springfield. Thank you. So, now, before anything else, I just want to say this. I've always judged, comedy movies on the basis if you laugh, they work. If you don't laugh, they don't. Okay. And I have to confess that I did laugh through the Simpsons movie. And everyone has said to me, it's brilliant. And I see nothing to doubt that the TV series is brilliant. The fact that I don't watch it makes no difference. I don't watch lots of things. I don't watch West Wing. I don't watch ER. I did watch Life on Mars, but then I'm a 44-year-old man who owns a Capri, so of course I'm going to watch Life on Mars. What else are you going to do, okay? But I understand. I've been told ever since I used to work with Danny Baker on Radio 5 back in the late 1980s, always used to say, this is the best thing on television, and it's incredibly silly literate, and I have no problem with that whatsoever. And I did laugh through the course of the movie many more times than I have laughed through the course of many allegedly comedy films, and it's clearly very smartly written, and the gags are, they're smart and sensible and intelligent, and it has an ironic, wry, satirical, fine, all those things great. And I was in a cinema with a bunch of people who were really, really enjoying themselves. Here are my reservations, and then you can tell me why I'm wrong. And I appreciate that, clearly...
So this is exactly why you're right.
Okay, here's my reservations. It's overstretched at 90 minutes because you do get the sense that there comes a kind of tipping point after about 25 minutes, 30 minutes in which they have to expand it, they have to go beyond the usual, and it does feel like the narrative itself is slightly creaky. Some of the characters are not quite as well introduced as they should do, like the boyfriend doesn't quite work. That's one problem. The second thing is, unlike Team America World Police, it doesn't have, for me, a cinematic sensibility in terms of the way it looks. Now, Team America, maybe people say, super crappy animation, all the rest of it, but it did at least have, actually exactly what Jerry Anderson had. Jerry Anderson's television programs always looked like films. That's how he shot them. He always wanted to be making films, and he wanted to be making live action. He just ended up working with puppets because he didn't have the money to work with people. I think Team America had that. What it does suffer from, to some extent, although not quite as badly as South Park, is you get the sense that it is a small, tight, compact format that has been somewhat overstretched. Now, in the case of South Park, I really thought that half an hour in, I've run out of patience with it. There was no point in the Simpsons movie that I thought, I'm really fed up, because the fact is that every other minute a gag would come along that was funny. And it is funny. It is clearly very, very well written. You look at the pedigree, you look at the people, that's fine. I don't know that it's a movie. In fact, I kind of know that it's not a movie, and that, if I have a problem with it, and I do, that is my problem. It's not going to lose anything on television. It keeps making references to the fact that it's not a movie. At one point, there's a thing, I said that gag at the beginning with Itchy and Scratchy and Ren and Stimpy, who in my head are all the same because they go on television. And there's another bit in which they start advertising Fox shows at the beginning, and it's a gag, and they say, yes, we're even advertising Fox shows nowadays. All that stuff, funny, but it's not, in my opinion, what the cinema is there for, in the same way that the Queen, in my opinion, is not what the cinema is there for. But hey, I'm not a Simpsons fan, and I'm sure that if you were a Simpsons fan, you, as you keep saying, you'd get more. Now, you tell me, you think that it does have flaws?
No, I think you're just about right, to be honest. I think if you are a big fan of The Simpsons, get ready for the overhype to cause people to laugh hysterically at things that aren't that funny, and you miss gags. It's one of those films you are going to have to watch in DVD or when it's on Sky or whatever.
Well, everyone says that about the TV series itself, that you going back and watching it the second or third time, you see all the stuff going on in the background.
I think they have sustained that over the hour and a half. I think they've sustained the balance of the belly laughs and the awe moments moments between Marge and Homer. They've also managed to do a thing which I feel, I don't know whether every character from The Simpsons makes an appearance, but I wouldn't bet against it. At different stages from the start, where you have Martin inside the 20th Century Fox logo, right through to the angry mob scenes where you're picking out people who were in that episode and the other episode, and way back 10 years ago. There's loads in it for the fan, and it's hard to be a fan of The Simpsons and not be a little bit anal about it. You do notice those little things, but the bottom line with the film is it does everything a fan would want. It's got all those little things that you can reference to other ones, but in terms of when you watch a new series, half of them are really good and half of them are okay. This is one of the really good ones. It's a bit longer.
But
Did you
think it was a film?
No, it's a longer Simpsons. That's all it is.
Okay, but that's fine. In that case, I think on that we're completely agreed. And there is nothing in it that would make me think that all these people have been lying to me. And in fact, it's not the great piece of television that everyone says it is.
Yeah.
But I do think that the more things go on, there is a need to distinguish between television and cinema. And it's a particular bugbear of mine. I mean, there are people who've done great work in television who then do great work in cinema. And so some people who switch between the two. I mean, Ken Russell, Ken Loach, these are people who've worked in both genres and have done both things absolutely brilliantly. I just don't know that The Simpsons movie is a movie. But is it funnier than an awful lot of the stuff out there? Yes. Is it more intelligent than an awful lot of the stuff out there? Yes. Is it satiric? Do I actually think that the intentions of the people behind it, the creative, are good? Yes, I do. Yeah. And in a week in which it's Transformers, I mean, seriously, the moral high ground, it's just that there's just no question. You want to go see Simpsons, which is smart and intelligent and open-minded, or you want to go and see the most reductive, sexist, stupid, adolescent, onanistic fantasy made by a blithering half-wit. Hey, the choice is yours, guys.